Good morning, spiritual companions. We are reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Chapter 11, The Master at Kosapur. Page 481. Master, smiling. I see that preparations are going on for a grand renunciation. Narendra and the devotees looked silently at the Master. Rakal resumed the conversation. Rakal, smiling to the Master, Narendra is now beginning to understand you rather well. Sri Ramakrishna laughed and said, Yes, that is so. I see that many others too are beginning to understand. To M, isn't that so? M, yes, sir. Sri Ramakrishna turned his eyes to Narendra and M, and by a sign of his finger, drew the devotees' attention to them. He first pointed out Narendra and then M. Rakal understood the Master's hint and said to him with a smile, Don't you mean that Narendra has the attitude of a hero, and he, meaning M, that of a handmaid of God? Sri Ramakrishna laughed. Narendra, smiling to Rakal, he, meaning M, doesn't talk much and is bashful. Is that why you say he is a handmaid of God? Master, smiling to Narendra, Well, what do you think of me? Narendra, you are a hero, a handmaid of God, and everything else. These words filled Ramakrishna with divine emotion. He placed his hand on his heart and was about to say something. He said to Narendra and the other devotees, I see that all things, everything that exists, have come from this. He asked Narendra by a sign, What did you understand? Narendra, all created objects have come from you. The Master's face beamed with joy. He said to Rakal, Did you hear what he said? Sri Ramakrishna asked Narendra to sing. Narendra intoned a hymn. His mind was full of renunciation. He sang, Unsteady is water on the lotus petal. Quite as unsteady is the life of man. One moment with a sadhu is the boat with which to cross the ocean of this world. Narendra had hardly finished one or two lines when Sri Ramakrishna said to him by a sign, What are you singing? That is a very insignificant attitude, a very commonplace thing. Now Narendra sang about the love of the gopis for Krishna, impersonating one of them. How strange, O friend, are the rules of life and death. The youth of Braja has fled away, and this poor maid of Braja soon will die. Madhava is in love with other maids, more beautiful than I. Alas, he has forgotten the milkman's artless daughter. Who would ever have guessed, dear friend, that he, a lover so tender, so sublime, could go a-begging simply for outward charm? I was a fool not to have seen it before, but, carried away by his beauty, I yearned alone to hold his 2 feet to my breast. Now I shall drown myself in Jamuna's stream, or take a draught of poison, friend, or I shall bind a creeper round my neck and hang myself from a young tamala tree, or, failing all of these, destroy my wretched self by chanting Krishna's name. Sri Ramakrishna and the devotees were greatly moved by the song. The Master and Rakal shed tears of love. Narendra was intoxicated with the love of the gopis of Braja for their sweetheart, Sri Krishna, and sang, O Krishna, beloved, you are mine. What shall I say to you, O Lord? What shall I ever say to you? Only a woman am I, and never fortune's favorite. I do not know what to say. You are the mirror for the hand, and you are the flower for the hair. O friend, I shall make a flower of you, and wear you in my hair. Under my braids I shall hide you, friend. No one will see you there. You are the betel leaf for the lips, the dark collyrium for the eyes. O friend, with you I shall stain my lips. With you I shall paint my eyes. You are the sandal paste for the body. You are the necklace for the neck. I shall anoint myself with you, my fragrant sandal paste, and soothe my body and my soul. I shall wear you, my lovely necklace, here about my neck, and you will lie upon my bosom, close to my throbbing heart. You are the treasure in my body. You are the dweller in my house. You are to me, O Lord, what wings are to a bird, what water is to a fish. Friday, April 9th, 1886. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Narendra, Kali, Niranjan, and M were talking downstairs in the Kosapur garden house. Narendra had just returned from a visit to Bodh-Gaya, where he had gone with Kali and Tarak. In that sacred place he had been absorbed in deep meditation before the image of Buddha. He had paid his respects to the Bodhi tree, which is an offshoot of the original tree under which Buddha attained nirvana. It was evening. Sri Ramakrishna sat on his bed in the big hall upstairs. M was alone in the room, fanning the master. Latu came in a little later. Narendra entered the room and took a seat. Sashi, Rakal, and 1 or 2 other devotees came in. The master asked Narendra to stroke his feet. He also asked him whether he had taken his meal. Master, smiling to M, he went there, referring to Bodh-Gaya. M to Narendra, what are the doctrines of Buddha? Narendra, he could not express in words what he had realized by his tapasya. So people say he was an atheist. Master, by signs. Why atheist? He was not an atheist. He simply could not express his inner experience in words. Do you know what Buddha means? It is to become one with Bodha, pure intelligence, by meditating on that which is of the nature of pure intelligence. It is to become pure intelligence itself. Narendra, yes, sir. There are 3 classes of Buddhas: Buddha, Arhat, and Bodhisattva. Master, this too is sport of God, a new Leela of God. Why should Buddha be called an atheist? When one realizes Swarupa, the true nature of oneself, one attains a state that is something between Asti, is, and Nasti, is not. Narendra to M. It is a state in which contradictions meet. A combination of hydrogen and oxygen produces cool water, and the same hydrogen and oxygen are used in the oxyhydrogen blowpipe. In that state, both activity and non-activity are possible. That is to say, one then performs unselfish action. Worldly people who are engrossed in sense objects say that everything exists, asti. But the Mahavadis, the illusionists, say that nothing exists, nasti. The experience of a Buddha is beyond both existence and non-existence. Master, this existence and non-existence are attributes of Prakriti, the reality is beyond both. The devotees remained silent for a few moments. Master to Narendra, what did Buddha preach? Narendra, he did not discuss the existence or non-existence of God, but he showed compassion for others all his life. A hawk pounced upon a bird and was about to devour it. In order to save the bird, Buddha offered the hawk his own flesh. Sri Ramakrishna remained silent. Narendra became more and more enthusiastic about Buddha. Narendra, how great his renunciation was. Born a prince, he renounced everything. If a man has nothing, no wealth at all, what does his renunciation amount to? After attaining Buddhahood and experiencing nirvana, Buddha once visited his home and exhorted his wife, his son, and many others of the royal household to embrace the life of renunciation. How intense his renunciation was. But look at Vyasa's conduct. He forbade his son Sukadeva to give up the world, saying, "My son, practice religion as a householder." Sri Ramakrishna was silent. As yet he had not uttered a word. Sri Narendra, Buddha did not care for Shakti or any such thing. He sought only nirvana. Ah, how intense his dispassion was. When he sat down under the Bodhi tree to meditate, he took this vow: "Let my body wither away here if I do not attain nirvana." Such a firm resolve. This body indeed is the great enemy. Can anything be achieved without chastising it? Sashi, but it is you who says that one develops sattva by eating meat. You insist that one should eat meat. Narendra, I eat meat, no doubt, but I can also live on rice, mere rice, even without salt. After a few minutes, Sri Ramakrishna broke his silence. He asked Narendra by a sign if he had seen a tuft of hair on Buddha's head. Narendra, no, sir, he seems to have a sort of crown. His head seems to be covered by strings of Rudraksha beads placed on top of one another. Master, and his eyes? Narendra, they show that he is in samadhi. Sri Ramakrishna again became silent. Narendra and other devotees looked at him intently. Suddenly a smile lighted his face, and he began to talk with Narendra. M was fanning him. Master to Narendra, well, here you find everything, even ordinary red lentils and tamarind. Isn't that so? Narendra, after experiencing all those states, you are now dwelling on a lower plane. M to himself, yes, after realizing all those ideals, he is now living as a bhakta, a devotee of God. Master, someone seems to be holding me to a lower plane. Saying this, Sri Ramakrishna took the fan from M's hand and said, as I see this fan directly before me, in exactly the same manner have I seen God, and I have seen. With these words, he placed his hand on his heart and asked Narendra by a sign, can you tell me what I said? Narendra, I have understood. Master, tell me. Narendra, I didn't hear you well. Sri Ramakrishna said again, by a sign, I have seen that he and the one who dwells in my heart are one and the same person. Narendra, yes, yes, Soham, I am he. Master, but only a line divides the two, that I may enjoy divine bliss. Narendra to M, great souls, even after their own liberation, retain the ego and experience the pleasure and pain of the body, that they may help others to attain liberation. It is like coolie work. We perform coolie work under compulsion, but great souls do of their own sweet pleasure. Again, all fell into silence. After a time, Sri Ramakrishna resumed the conversation. Master, to Narendra and the others, the roof is clearly visible, but extremely hard to reach. Narendra, yes, sir. Master, but if someone who has already reached it drops down a rope, he can pull another person up. Rakal, to the other devotees, let us stop here. He has already talked a great deal. It will aggravate his illness. End of that day. End of today's reading.